You know, there's not many advantages glad I'm here. At my age, I'm glad I'm anywhere. I want to thank Jean Marie and Willie for putting on this wonderful party and getting us all together. It's quite an undertaking and one we will never forget and may never have again.
Well, John doesn't have his shoes.
And when I look around and see all these people and think about the increase, it started here with Jewel and I, without any help at all from the Edwards. They could have just run on 2 cylinders. You can see how many folks we'd have if they was all clicked together. I want to tell you a few little things that have happened in my experience in lifetime that's had some effect on me. When, just after I married Jewel, we had an aunt and uncle in Palmetto. They were elderly people and poor people, and he died. The uncle died, and we went around there that afternoon. Jill and I had been married just a few months. And Jill said, we were going to spend the night. We're not going to leave your aunt here by herself. And I said, honey, they only have one bed for us to sleep in, and it's an old lumpy cotton mattress, and it's hardly gotten cool from the man dying. And I don't want to sleep in that. She said, well, we won't sleep in it. It did 2 things for me. It showed me the character of girl that I was married, and I got ashamed of myself for my attitude in it. And 2 of the people that had the most influence in me was brother and father. My brother and I were in business together. I, being the oldest boy, I domineered him and got to taking advantage of it for quite a while. And after a while, I realized that he was giving me the best end of the stick. And I decided that I was going to change things up and give him the best. And it made it possible for us to get along very closely in that partnership. Each one of us let the other one have the advantage of it. When Daddy moved from Palmetto, that's where I married Joe, over to St. Petersburg, he had about $13,000 inventory, but we got there in 1920, and that was the beginning of our Florida move. By 1925, his inventory had increased to about $100,000. Then it busted, the boom busted, and we couldn't sell anything. And we didn't have any money, and there was no money to be had. And a customer would come in to look at a chair that cost us $60, $70 wholesale. And he'd say, no, I won't pay that. We'd say, well, what will you pay? And he'd say, I'll give you $25. We said, would you give it to us in cash? And he said, yes. So we take the $25. And by 1929, that inventory had gotten down to $22,000. And Papa one day told us, he said, boys, I'm going to divide this inventory and this stock of goods up and give you half of what I had. I have. He was 65 years old, dividing up. He's starting out himself with $11,000 worth of merchandise. So he pushed one dress on this one side of the aisle for himself and another one for us. And he literally divided it up. And he said, now, you go downtown and said, you go to work. He said, don't you come back here again because I've given you half of I have, half that I have. So we went downtown and went to work. We cut our salaries from $40 to $25 a week. And the depression that came on after that saw many homes, many fine homes, sold for taxes. The Ford building sold for $7,000 in taxes. That 4-story annex that we now own was sold for $16,000. And it made quite an impression on me, what my daddy did. And the things that I have tried to do, I couldn't pay him back, but I have tried to help some other people in my family that have gone wrong in order to pay him back some. And the things that that I have done in my lifetime is say if you follow the teachings of Christ, you'll be forgiven for your sins in heaven. But I'd say this, if you follow the teachings of Christ, you don't have to wait to get to heaven for happiness. You'll get it right in your own they say. And the mistakes that you make as you go along are not forgiven. You don't forgive yourself, I don't believe. There was a man there that Papa had been keeping up for about 3 years, and he was kind of a shifty sort of job. And he came in the store to see me one day, and he said, "Murray, I need some help. Can you help me some?" And I said, "Mr. List, Papa has helped you for 3 years. You haven't tried to help yourself, and I'm not going to help you any." And he said, "Well, Murray, you don't know how much nerve it took for me to come up here and talk to you." That night, he took this and blew his brains out. It didn't worry me at the time because I felt like it wasn't justified. But I realized that a little help from me might have turned him around and saved his life. And I believe that the mistakes you make, if you are the right sort of person, will worry you the rest of your life. I think it's very important for a man to select his friends carefully because they have an influence on you greater than you realize. And the influence that you pass on to them, they in turn pass on to someone else. And it may be that those either good or bad things that you influence a person continue on for everyone else. I have an idea that it goes much further than we realize. I think the most important thing that you can get out of this life is building character. And to do that, you've got to do things that you don't want to do, but you know is right. And if you ever have a debate with yourself as to whether it's right or not, you may rest assured that it's not right, or you wouldn't have a debate with yourself. I don't want to tear this thing out too long here, and I thought about taking up a collection, but looking this crowd over, I figured it wouldn't be worthwhile.
Thank you very much.